February 3rd, 2026. Chapter 15.3, the importance of reasoned analysis. Wise reflection, Yo Niso Mana Sikara, page 1424 to page 1428. Buddha Dhamma, section 4, a worthy life. Bhikkhu, just as the dawn is the forerunner and the precursor of the rising of the sun, so too the fulfillment of Yoniso Manasikara, sound, reflection, reason, analysis, is the forerunner and the precursor for the arising of the Noble Eightfold Path for a bhikkhu, a mendicant, a monk, a sadhu, a siddhi. It is to be expected of a bhikkhu who has brought Yoniso Manasikara to completion that he will develop and cultivate the Noble Eightfold Path. Bhikkhu, just as the dawn's silver and golden light, Alun, is the precursor to the rising of the sun, so too for a bhikkhu, Yoniso Manasikara, sound analysis, reason analysis, wise analysis, is the forerunner and precursor for the arising of Bojana, 7 factors of enlightenment. When a bhikkhu is accomplished in Yoniso Manasikara, wise reflection, it is to be expected that he will develop and cultivate it, Bojana, the 7 factors of enlightenment. Bhikkhus, just as this body is sustained by nourishment, subsists in dependence on nourishment, and cannot subsist without nourishment, so too the 5 hindrances are sustained by nourishment, subsists in dependence on nourishment, cannot subsist without nourishment. What is their nourishment? A frequent lack of wise reflection. Bhikkhu, just as this body is sustained by nourishment, subsists in dependence on nourishment, cannot subsist without nourishment, so too, Bojana, the 7 factors of enlightenment are sustained by nourishment, subsists in dependence on nourishment, cannot subsist without nourishment. And what is their nourishment? A repleted application of reason analysis, Yoniso Manasikara. Bhikkhu, by careful attention, by careful right striving, Yoniso Sammapatthana, I arrived at unsurpassed liberation. I realize unsurpassed liberation, Vimukti, or moksha. You too, by careful attention, by careful right striving, shall arrive at unsurpassed liberation, shall realize unsurpassed liberation. Bhikkhu, I say that the destruction of asavas, the taints, is for one who and sees, not for one who does not know and see. Who knows and sees what? Wise attention and unwise attention. When one attends unwisely, unarisen asavas, taints, arise, and arisen asavas, taints, increase. Mental taints, that is. When one attends wisely, unarisen mental taints do not arise, and arisen mental taints are abandoned. Bhikkhus, Whatever states there are that are wholesome, partaking of wholesome, pertaining to the wholesome, they are all rooted in reason analysis, yoniso manasikara. Converge upon reason analysis, yoniso manasikara. And reason analysis, yoniso manasikara, is declared to be the chief among them, the most important. See here, Mahali, greed, hatred, delusion, unwise reflection, wrongly directed attention is the cause, the condition for evil actions, for the existence of evil. Non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion, wise reflection. Rightly directed attention is the cause, the condition for various or virtuous actions, for the existence of virtuous actions. No other thing do I know which is so responsible for causing unarisen wholesome states to arise and arisen unwholesome states to wane as wise reflection. In one who reflects wisely, wholesome states not yet arisen will arise, and unwholesome states that have arisen will wane. No other thing do I know which is so conductive to great benefit, which is so conductive for the stability, non-decline, non-disappearance of the true law, Dhamma, as reason analysis, sound reflection, yoniso manasikara. In regard to the internal factors, no other thing do I know which is so conductive, so great benefit as reason analysis, yoniso manasikara. For a bhikkhu who is still in training, who has not yet realized the fruit of arihatship, and who aspires to the unsurpassed serenity from bondage, or security from bondage, I do not see any other internal factor that is so helpful as yoniso manasikara. A bhikkhu who applies sound analysis, yoniso manasikara, is able to eliminate the unwholesome and cultivate the wholesome. I do not see any other thing so conductive for generating unarisen right view, samatiti, or for the increase in arisen right view as wise reflection. In one who reflects wisely, unarisen right view will arise, and arisen right view will increase. I do not see any other thing so conductive for generating unarisen enlightenment factors, for the bringing arisen enlightenment factor to completion as reason analysis, yoniso manasikara. And one who reflects wisely, unarisen enlightenment factors will arise, and arisen enlightenment factors will be brought to completion. No other thing do I know on account of which unarisen doubt does not arise. Arisen doubt is abandoned as much as the account of yoniso manasikara. For one who attends properly to signs of impurity, unarisen lust, and not arisen or arisen lust that already has been abandoned, for one who attends properly to the liberation of the mind by loving kindness, unarisen hatred will not arise. Arisen hatred will be abandoned. For one who attends properly to all things, unarisen delusion will not arise, and arisen delusion will be abandoned. When one attends wisely, unarisen sensual desire, ill will, sloth, and torpor, restlessness, and worry, doubt does not arise, and arisen sensual desire, doubt is abandoned. At the same time, the unarisen enlightenment factor of mindfulness, the unarisen enlightenment factor of equanimity arises, and the arisen enlightenment factor for mindfulness, equanimity, comes to fulfillment. There are 9 things that are greatly supportive, that which are rooted in Yoniso Manasikara, wise reflection. When one possesses Yoniso Manasikara, wise reflection, joy arises. When one is joyful, delight arises. When one experiences delight, the body is relaxed and tranquil. When the body is relaxed, one experiences happiness. For one who is happy, the mind is concentrated. When the mind is concentrated, one knows and sees according to Satchat, the truth. When one knows and sees according to the truth, one becomes disenchanted. With disenchantment, one has become dispassionate. By dispassion, one is liberated.